And good evening, everyone, and welcome into the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media. I'm your host, Russ Renault, and thanks for joining us again after another UFC fight night, this time from the Apex in Las Vegas. Just want to let you know that next week that we will be coming to you live from on Sunday, so we will not have the instant reaction as we've been doing the last few months. We will be coming to you at the time we started off with a long time ago. So we'll be going back to Sunday night just for that 1 week. Then we'll be back to the instant reactions. Just don't have the availability next Saturday night to do it right after the fight. So we got a lot to talk about, dealing with that next week with a great card. And we'll get to all the action coming up on the schedule. We'll talk about that. But let's first get to what has been going on tonight at the Apex. So this, wasn't the greatest card. And, it's been weird lately that you haven't seen a whole lot of knockouts. You've seen some submissions, but a lot of decisions tonight. And so just kind of the way things have gone the last couple of weeks. But, not a whole lot to talk about. So we get to the main event that just ended between number 5 Alex Perez and number 13 Taira. And if you've been paying attention to the trading card hobby, Taira is one of the best rookies you could have from last year. So if you got some of those cards, you like what happened tonight. But it kind of a weird finish, to be honest. It's just if you saw it, of course we're going to spoil everything right now. So if you don't want that, then I would tune away. But please don't. Please stick around. You can always go back and watch later. But really odd there in the second round. Taira taking the back of Alex Perez, jumping on him on the back while Perez was standing. And then as he took him down, Perez's leg, his foot was planted into the mat. And then it just kind of stayed there. And so when Taira took him down, did some damage to the knee, and the fight was stopped. So that was the only TKO of the night, and it comes on a medical stoppage as Perez was unable to continue. So really odd finish. The first round was kind of back and forth. Taira had an eye poke in the first round that kind of let Perez get his wits about him, and eye pokes kind of in the judges' minds aren't real good look. Kind of you're trying to get an advantage over your opponent that you wouldn't have had, and Perez able to get a takedown late in round one. So that first round could have gone either way. I kind of leaned Taira in that first round, and Taira looked better in the second. Also had another eye poke there in the second, but that was not as bad. But if another one would have happened, then you could have seen a point taken away, but it all didn't matter. It kind of went the way that I thought it would. Definitely not that kind of a stoppage, but I did think that Taira would have gotten there eventually, and it looked like he was getting there late in the second round. So a phenomenal win, and just a great showing. And obviously he's going to jump up into the top 10, knocking on the door of the top 5. So Taira, his goal is to become the flyweight champion and a showdown with Alessandro Pantoja sometime down the line. Probably got a couple of names to go through before that, but certainly did not do any damage to his reputation tonight with an awesome win, and hope to see him back real soon. So we'll look down a little bit of the rest of the card. Miles Johns with a nice win over Douglas Silva de Andrade there in the co-main event in a bantamweight matchup. Unanimous decision. It was a really close fight, though. I saw there were a couple of 30-27 scorecards on there, but man, it was a really, really solid fight. Both fighters, going toe-to-toe. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they turned it on later, and each got in their shots. And Miles Johns just a little more effective, according to the judges. Lucas Almeida with a great win, unanimous decision. Looked great in that fight. Kawamba came back and looked really good in the third round, and it's how he's able to take some of the scorecards there in the third round. So it was 29-28 across the board. Brady Heastan with a submission in the third round. A lot of third round submissions lately, but there were two on this card tonight. So a win over Garrett Armfield. Trying to look what else. Unfortunately for us, big Jimmy Flick fans, and he did not get the job done tonight. Nate Maness with a great win. Unanimous decision over Jimmy Flick. Weston Wilson with a submission in the first round. So he's impressive, and so that's kind of the highlights of the card. And this show is going to be a little bit shorter tonight, getting a late start due to the length of this card and how late it got going. So we're going to jump right into our rundown of these fights that are coming up, and we got some graphics this week, so we're going to get into those. You're going to see some of these cards going back on the road, fewer Apex, showings, we hope, because the cards just tend to be better when they travel to a city. They know they have to deliver, and so we get better cards. So that's our rundown of the UFC schedule over the next couple of months. Let's just take a look at a little bit of what we have left. Able to get rid of some Conor McGregor cards this week. The ones we showed you last week, those are now off in the mail. Still have this Islam Makhachev, numbered to 49, the Prism Teal from 2003. It's number 3 of 49, then all these Islam cards thrown in there with those. Got a few autos left too. We got rid of McGregor, but we did not get rid of Chandler yet. So we still have a Michael Chandler auto. Don't know why my camera's so low. Let's kind of adjust that a little bit. There we go. It's more like it. Michael Chandler also got a numbered 49 there, 2 out of 49 rookie card. This is 21 Chronicles. The score, it's purple. I got 3 other Chandler rookie cards in there, and then we throw in all this for you. So Marvin Vettori got 2 autos here with Don Russ and a Prism. We'll throw some other Marvin Vettori in there for you. So you can find all of that on our eBay store, Orange Fire Lots of Lots. The Vettoris aren't listed, but they will be soon. You can check out everything else we have listed. So just go to eBay and go to the Orange Fire Lots of Lots store. And you can reach out to me with any questions, anything that you want to talk about here on the show. Just email me, russ@orange-fire.com. You can go to our website, orange-fire.com, and find everything you want about the show. And you can leave any comments, any questions in the chat, and we appreciate everybody who would subscribe. I'll tell you that our next big event will be that UFC 303 card, and we will be doing a live coverage of the main event. So the last time, UFC 302, we did that. We came on the show right at the beginning of the Makhachev-Poirier fight. So we started the show right there at the beginning, and I just kind of did a little live play-by-play. Obviously couldn't show any visuals, no sound, but you got my play-by-play for that main event, and that turned out pretty well. And I enjoyed doing it, and I think everybody else did too. So we hope that continues. And if you don't want to miss those, then make sure you subscribe. And we'll be doing card giveaways. Once we get those subscriber numbers up, we'll give away stacks of cards. I've talked about those earlier on the show. We've got some lots of John Jones and Holly Holm, Misha Tate, Glover Teixeira, Robert Whitaker, Justin Gaethje, and I think that's all of them. Jan Blachowicz, I think, is the other one. So we want to give all those away. So we need everybody to jump on and just be part of this community. We appreciate having you. I certainly appreciate it and would love to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So just drop a line to me, real easy to get a hold of, and we look forward to seeing you here every week. Like I said, usually we're here right after the fights, but we're not able to do that next weekend, so we'll be on Sunday night. Then we're back for UFC 303. We'll be doing live coverage of the main event, and that will be our show for that night, that Saturday night, June 29th. So we're looking forward to that. That's our next big one. Obviously, next week's good too, but pay-per-views are a little bit bigger for us around here. So I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you enjoy our coverage right after these UFC events, and we will see you next time right here on the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media right here on YouTube. I'm Russ Renault, and good night, everybody, and we will see you next time right here on the UFC Fight Cards podcast.